Starting from July 24, Linjing, Jilin Province experienced heavy rain.
这个时候知道住高一点好哈，你看1楼不完蛋了吗？你说啊，看看，那车都淹了，你看。
On July 29, a reporter from the Beijing Youth Daily learned that due to heavy rain in Linjing City, serious dangers such as flooding and waterlogging of the Yalu River and other rivers have occurred. At present, power outages have occurred in many local communities and power companies are carrying out emergency repairs to restore power. News released by the Jilin Provincial Meteorological Service Center indicated that this round of rain will soon end, but Jilin Province may usher in a new round of heavy rain starting on the evening of the 30th. Linjing City is located in the southeast of Jilin Province, in the hinterland of Changbai Mountain, and in the middle and upper reaches of the Yalu River. Due to the recent heavy rainfall, the water level on the banks of the Yalu River has continued to rise. At 2 a.m. on July 28, the second flood this year occurred in the Yalu River. Later, the Linjing City Water Conservancy Department issued a red flood warning and determined that a major flood disaster was possible. The Linjing City Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters upgraded the emergency response from Level 2 to Level 1 at 10:10 on July 28 and implemented the 5 suspensions measures: suspension of classes, suspension of work, suspension of production, suspension of operations, suspension of operations, suspension of classes, suspension of work, suspension of production, suspension of operations, closure. As of 12:35 on July 28, the water level at Linjing Station was 333.93 meters, and the flow rate was 9,950 cubic meters per second. The Sanlio Committee Hydrology Bureau upgraded and issued a red flood warning for the Linjing section of the Yalu River at 13 o'clock on July 28, 2024. Affected by heavy rain and rising water levels, Linjing City issued 2 consecutive relocation announcements on July 28, saying that because the water level of the Yalu River exceeded the warning line, the situation was critical, and please stay below the 3rd floor. Residents in low-lying areas can expand the scope of relocation if necessary. Residents in the bungalows were relocated to higher ground or relocated to higher floors. All residents in the bungalows were immediately relocated to higher ground, and they complied with the arrangements during the relocation and were relocated in an orderly manner. On July 29, the Sangleo Water Conservancy Committee of the Ministry of Water Resources announced that due to recent rainfall, multiple floods occurred in the second Songhua River, Yalu River, Dongleo River, and Muden River. One after another, the Yalu River experienced the largest flood ever recorded. It is expected that this round of rainfall will continue until the 29th, and there will be rainfall in the Liaodong Peninsula. The Yalu River, the main stream of the Liao River, the Humte River, the Dongleo River, the second Songhua River, the upper reaches of the Lalan River, the upper reaches of the Mudanjiang River, the Tumen River, and the Sufan River. The rainfall ranged from 30 to 60 millimeters, with local rainfall reaching 70 to 80 millimeters. Serious dangers such as flood backflow and waterlogging of the Yalu River and other rivers occurred in Linjing City. According to the liberation of Linjing on the 29th, the urban area of Linjing was affected by heavy rain and serious dangers such as flood backflow and waterlogging occurred in the Yalu River and other rivers.
上海呀，这啊，好深！就一直这么深吗
？7月28号，现在是中午的12点30分啊。现在这个长沙火车站广场的这个位置，最中央的位置应该是到大水根了，那个位置水位。
In order to prevent water-related electric shock safety accidents and ensure the safety of people's lives, according to the situation, the Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters of the Linjing Municipal Government made unified arrangements and required the Linjing State Grid Power Supply Company to immediately carry out power outages in an orderly manner. Power outages have occurred in many communities. At present, the power company is carrying out emergency power restoration repairs. Some residential areas with severe backflow will be drained and cleaned first. After reaching the emergency power restoration state, the Linjing State Grid Power Supply Company will restore power to every community without power as soon as possible. Yang, a resident of Linjing City, told the Beijing Daily Reporter that the water level of the Yalu River rose rapidly due to the rain. The rain has stopped and the water level of the Yalu River has receded slightly, but it still looks much higher than usual. He had a cold storage a few kilometers away from the Yalu River, and when the flood came, the cold storage was also destroyed. The rain has stopped and the water level of the Yalu River has receded slightly, but it still looks much higher than usual. He had a cold storage a few kilometers away from the Yalu River, but when the flood came, the cold storage was also destroyed. Yang told a reporter from Beijing Daily that villagers in his village had moved to higher mountains to live temporarily. Villagers at the foot of the mountain have been evacuated. The flood came yesterday and the signal was also greatly affected. Often phone calls cannot be made. Yang said that he has an assault boat and can participate in rescues if necessary as soon as they are swept away. You must save people first.
This
round of rainfall in Jilin has ended and a new round of heavy rain is likely to occur on the evening of the 30th. According to the Jilin Provincial Meteorological Service Center, from noon on the 27th, rainfall occurred in most parts of Jilin Province, with heavy rain or heavy rain in the central and southeastern parts and heavy thunderstorms in some places. This round of rainfall is about to end, and Jilin Province may usher in a new round of heavy rainfall from the evening of the 30th.
这个时候知道足够一点好哈，你看一楼不完蛋了吗？你说啊，看看，那车都淹了，你看。
Affected by the water vapor on the periphery of Typhoon Jemmy, rainfall occurred in most parts of Jilin Province from the afternoon of the 27th, with heavy rain or heavy rain in the central and southeastern parts and heavy rainstorms in some places. As of 6 o'clock am on the 29th, the average rainfall in Jilin Province was 50.8 millimeters, including 110.7 millimeters in Beishan, 107.5 millimeters in Tonghua, 96.9 millimeters in Changbai Mountain Protection and Development Zone, 65.4 millimeters in Jilin, 53.7 millimeters in Saiping, 52.8 millimeters in Liaoyuan, 51.2 millimeters in Yanbian, and 18.4 millimeters in Changshan, Beijing 6.3 millimeters, Sanyuan 6.0 millimeters. There were 266 stations with process rainfall of 100 to 250 millimeters, 411 stations with 50 to 100 millimeters, 232 stations with 25 to 50 millimeters, and 134 stations with 10 to 25 millimeters. A total of 307 stations experienced short-term heavy rainfall with an hourly rainfall intensity of 20 millimeters or more. The maximum hourly rainfall intensity occurred in the Changbaishan Botanical Garden in Mexico, reaching 57.1 millimeters. Rain or thunderstorms are expected in the northeast of Changchun, Liaoyuan, Jilin, Tonghua, Beishan, Yanbian, and the Changbai Mountain Protection and Development Zone from noon to evening on the 29th. From noon to evening on the 30th, moderate to heavy rain occurred in the east and south of Beijing, Sanyuan, Changchun, Saiping, west of Liaoyuan, and northwest of Jilin. In some places, heavy rain occurred, accompanied by strong convective weather such as short-term heavy rainfall, thunderstorms, strong winds, or hail. There will be rain or thunderstorms in northwest Beijing, eastern Liaoyuan, eastern and southern Jilin, northern Tonghua, Beishan, western Yanbian, and the Changbai Mountain Protection and Development Zone.